My oven, no.
I think my brain stopped working an hour ago.
I have to do the intro. Okay, come on. Is this what you wanted?
Hi! I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Gotta stop doing that. As you can see, another picture has fallen, and it's still laying on the desk, because even though the double-sided wall mounting tape was not strong enough to keep it sticking to the wall, it is strong enough to stick to my lamp. I couldn't get it off without breaking the frame. I will have to do that before I start sewing. For now, it's just stuck to the lamp, and I can't use the lamp until I can unstick it somehow without breaking the frame even more than it's already broken from the fall. And yes, I do have some command strips, the Velcro kind. I didn't have it when I was putting the frames up. I eventually got some, and I just have not taken the time to individually replace all of the foam mounting tape with command strips on every single frame. But I will, because eventually my luck with the glass not breaking is going to run out. The bright side to these falling down is I have some floating shelves I want to put up, but I haven't yet because I've been dreading the process of unsticking them from the wall to rearrange and put the shelves up. But now I have two naturally cleared areas to put shelves. So everything's kind of making its own choice on where it wants to be, so that's nice. And I do have a helper. For this intro. Getting back on track, we are continuing our Rainbow of Projects mini-series, and today is purple. I kind of had some sort of idea of what I wanted to do today. It wasn't set in stone until the Bounding with Pride challenge started on Instagram, and while I was planning out which characters I wanted to do for each day, because I'm trying to focus mainly on LGBTQIA characters that fit the color prompt, and for Purple Day I decided to do Amity Blight from Owl House. But I don't have anything in my closet that looks like that, so we're gonna try and make one today. Have I ever made a jumpsuit before? Oh, well, I tried, and you can watch that process here, but we're gonna try again. And we're gonna try and use this thrifted tablecloth. Now, I have already cut into this for this project, so I'm not sure if there's going to be enough for this little shorts jumpsuit. I did already lay it out and kind of eyeball it, but honestly, I'm not sure. So there's only one way to find out. I have to start working. Which means you need to get out and go on your bed. What are they saying? This mini-series was inspired by it being Pride Month last month, and since we are building a rainbow, we're also learning about the significance of the colors on the Pride flag. Today's color purple represents spirit. I'll link the Google Arts and Culture page I'm using for my information in the caption too if you'd like to learn more. Okay, first try on. It's not great. It's too short in the torso, and I don't mind a snatched waist. I do prefer one I can breathe with, and that's not the case right now. I definitely need to make some alterations, although normally with pants, if it's too small in the waist, I'll add a strip of fabric on the side to extend the size. The only problem is I actually remembered to add pockets this time, and those are on the side seams. The one time I remember to put pockets in. To make it line up on the sides, I did have to pleat a little bit, so I'm wondering if I just don't pleat it together, if I'll even have to add a panel to the sides. So I'm gonna try that first, because no matter what, I'm gonna have to detach the bottom from the top. Let's get to it. I just finished sewing the black trim onto the sleeves, and I made a little belt to go around the center because she does have a little black stripe in the middle. Still debating whether or not to add the two buttons that she has to the front. I do want this to be a wearable piece and not just like a little baby cosplay, so I don't know if adding the buttons will make it look too costumey. And what I think I'll do is I I'll attach some for the sake of this little baby cosplay and then remove them after if I don't like how they look. But really, that's all that's left, so I think it's time for the reveal. That wraps up purple. Overall, I think it looks okay. I cut too much off of the neckline to make a V, so now it just looks like a weird curve. I've never used this pattern for pants before, so it's no surprise that this didn't go super well. I think it photographs well. It fits fine. That being said, now there was that thing going around that was about sitting jeans versus standing jeans. Not that I love what that means for fashion versus our bodies, but I can relate, especially with this, because she's a standing jumpsuit, not a sitting one. I had to pull up the tops of my pants to sit down, and still I think I heard at least 3 stitches pop as I sat down, particularly in the bum area. When I had to detach the top from the bottom to let it out a little bit, basically all I did was get rid of the pleats that the pattern called for, because number 1, I don't think I did it right, and number 2, I don't think the size would have been good for me to begin with. For this fabric especially, which has 0 give. It's straight polyester. It's not uncomfortable against the skin, but it is unforgiving and unyielding. There's no stretch at all. So I got rid of all the pleats, and I noticed while I was seam ripping all of my stitches there that the underside of all the stitches was loose, not loose. And I didn't notice until then, which means everything else I had stitched up to that point was also loose. And I think it was due to the thread I was using. I got this box of bits and bobs. Saying that 5 times fast. A box of bits and bobs, a box of bits and bobs. I got a box of bits and bobs at an estate sale purely because it had 3 spools of black thread in it and I have none. I used just the first one I grabbed and I loaded up a bobbin and I put it up, but I think it was a heavy duty thread and I didn't notice, and I think that affected the stitch because everything was loose. My machine historically has not done well with heavy duty thread, and anything I've tried and looked up online has not worked. So at some point I'm gonna have to go back in and reinforce all of the seams because they are just as close to falling apart as I am. But it was a good test run for the pants pattern. I've never used it before. I've used the other pieces that came with it, but never the pants. So it was a good test run. A fun Frankensteining of 2 different patterns together. I think it got the job done for today at least. But yeah, I like how it came out, and I actually remembered to put pockets in. I really like how this came out, and if you liked it too, you can let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see what we're making next, hit the subscribe button and join the channel. And if you want to know when I post, hit the notification bell and YouTube will let you know. Remember to support LGBTQIA businesses, creators, and organizations this month and every month. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!